three-pointer. Bang! Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from
I'm ready, bro. Let's get into it.
Okay. Yo, what's going on, guys? You thought you were starting. Yo, what's going on, guys? So today, we're going to discuss the NBA awards. We're going to divide this into two parts. The first part, we're going to be discussing the individual awards. And then the second part, we're going to do the All-NBA, All-Defensive, and All-Rookie teams. So let's get straight into it.
Let's start with the first award, the one that everybody likes
Everyone's
the
here
most.
for.
I mean, the best award, obviously, is the MVP. And for a lot of the season, we had Jokic winning it.
We did?
But towards the end, a lot of narratives started being built about Embiid. And Embiid did play amazing.
And he really wanted it. I mean, he really pushed for it. And I think he just deserves it. It's not even necessarily it's finally his time. No. If it's just me, to be honest, I would love to give it to Giannis, the best player on the best team. But I think what Jokic has been able to do this year, what Embiid has been able to do this year has been great.
Yeah, and then for Giannis, the argument that can be made against him is that when he was out, the Bucks continued to win a lot of games.
That's the biggest argument that I would always say about that. But
if he would have missed that big stretch, then you're going to actually talk about him. And I just want to say that for the people that want Jokic to win and think that he should win, I don't like people saying like, oh, it's insane that Embiid is winning, because for all of them could win, for you to disrespect the other one by saying like it's for sure, I don't like that.
We've made 2 videos already on the MVP ballots, so we won't talk too much about it. But the last thing that I want to say, what really pushed the award over the top, was the performance that Joel Embiid had against what was it?
Against the Celtics.
Against the Celtics.
That was a crazy
and he dropped 50-something points, and then that same night, Embiid literally dropped Jokic,
on 14 points and lost for Rockets.
Which is a horrible loss. So
the narrative matters, and that was just like bad luck for Jokic. But like we said, I don't think Jokic cares that much.
Okay, next we're gonna move on to Defensive Player of the Year. Now this one's really tough for me. I've seen a lot of videos. Abram and I, we've seen a lot of lists. It's been difficult for us because I think this has actually been really close, actually between all 3 players. So I guess we'll give you guys the rundown. So we have Evan Mobley, Brook Lopez, and Jaren Jackson Jr. as the top 3 contenders, and we ended up giving it to Jaren Jackson Jr. We have Brook Lopez as number 1 for a big majority of the year, but I think what overtook it was just hearing so many people talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. and how effective he was.
Because obviously we know about him. We see his highlights. We watch some games, but we wanted to give respect to the people that are actually analyze this and watch a lot of games. And there's so many people are saying that it's so close. I think we should start might as well go to Jaren Jackson.
And the way that people are talking about Jaren Jackson Jr., he's one of the most effective defenders in the NBA. He's absolutely incredible when he's on the floor. Now, the argument that I always use to actually have Brook Lopez as number 1 is the fact that I think Brook Lopez just simply he plays the whole game. That's something negative about Jaren Jackson Jr. He gets into foul trouble super easily. And that's a big negative for me. That should be a big negative, because being there for your team is one of the most important things that you can have. Yeah. And then Evan Mobley, I just want to say, I don't think he will win it. I've seen a lot of people give it to him.
He's going to win in the future.
Bro, shout out to Evan Mobley. 2nd-year player, bro. Already, top 3 Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Shout out to Evan Mobley.
And I just want to say that this series against the Lakers is going to be a big test for Jaren Jackson Jr. Having to guard AD and having to defend the paint against LeBron. Steven Adams out. It's all on him. So let's see how he responds.
And we'll talk a little bit about that in another video. Next, MIP. So you want to run down the contenders?
So the 3 contenders are
super stupid. I don't even know what I was saying.
Whatever. So we got Shea, Jalen Brunson, and Laura Markkinen. Those 3 players, humongous jumps for all of them. Shout out to them for having a great season, especially Laura Markkinen.
Yeah.
That is the one that we're going with, Laura Markkinen, because I think he's the one that made the biggest jump from a straight role player to an all-star. No question about it. Jalen Brunson, he also made a really big jump, and he didn't make the all-star game, but you definitely could argue for him to make it. But all I say about Jalen Brunson, I know this doesn't matter that much, but what we saw from him in the playoffs, we kind of saw this level of play. Obviously, he got second to another level. And Shea, he was already a great player last year, and obviously had a big improvement. But it's kind of tough for me to give to somebody that was already really good and just continued to get better. Yeah, I like to give to somebody like Laura Markkinen that just exploded. So yeah,
I actually have a lot of things to say about this. So one of the first things that I want to say is against Shea. I feel like if a player comes into the NBA and he has a certain type of projection, you should never give him the award for reaching that projection. And what I mean is John Morant last year. John Morant the year before, we saw the jump that he took last year. We saw John Morant being elevated into a superstar player. Last year, he went from 2 years ago, he was a near all-star, and then last year he went to a superstar. That was in the writing. We all knew that was coming. When he was selected number 2 overall, when he had that great rookie season, he literally won Rookie of the Year. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really imagine giving it to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when we saw a very similar version of this Shai that we're seeing this year last year. That was just the evolution. And then for Jalen Brunson really gave Larry Markkinen a run for his money, especially towards the end of the year. But Larry Markkinen, bro, I just want to say shout out to Larry. Oh my goodness, like we're talking about a player that he came into the league with high expectations. He was never really able to develop it in Chicago, and then he went last year to the Cavaliers and he was a role player, 3-and-D role player. Plays small forward a lot. I've mentioned that in previous videos that helped him out develop defensively, and then this year he was able to go to the Jazz and just explode, and nobody really saw this coming. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. It was good.
Then let's move on to Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year, we got Kessler, Jalen Williams, and Banchero. And, I would say that Paolo got lucky that he was consistent throughout the whole year because you can argue Jalen Williams in the second half played better than him.
Yeah, you can
also
definitely argue that because,
Kessler.
Bro, this dude only made 1 3 in the whole month of like February.
There's no trips sometimes with the shooting.
Yeah.
And it's going to get better as he goes along. It's good that he's taking them. He has a confidence. But I just got to give it to him because the whole year we always saw a lot of 20-point games. He had more 20-point games than LeBron did in his rookie year. Obviously, it's not like an insane deal, but it's still pretty impressive, it's good for the Magic that need a player like that need somebody to like become the consensus best player. And shout out to Walker Kessler. Obviously, he was like kind of like a throw in the Rudy Gobert trade, and he ended up averaging more blocks than Rudy Gobert. So shout out to him, and also Jalen Williams, bro. Unexpected. I didn't know he was before the draft, and he had a great season.
Yeah, again, shout out to the Thunder. They continue to draft exceptionally well. But with Paolo Banchero, I mean, he just looks like a superstar. He looks like a superstar in the making. That he just looks like he's gonna take over the league in a few years. And he showed that this season, there's no reason why I wouldn't give it to him. And then with Walker Kessler, he was great defensively. But yeah, shout out to Jalen. Shout out to all 3 of them. They've been incredible, man. And then next, we're gonna move on to 6 Men of the Year. Now, this one has changed a lot, and I actually have a lot of opinions on this. So I guess I'll get started. So the 3 contenders are Emmanuel Quigley, Bobby Portis, and Malcolm Brogdon. Now, for a big majority of the season, I actually had Bobby Portis winning this. He was averaging a double-double off the bench in a winning team. That's super impressive. But what overtook it for me was actually Malcolm Brogdon, and that's who we ended up picking. He's literally a starter that comes off the bench in the sense that this man can start for any team. And he's been incredible. He's been great defensively. He's been great. He's been a great addition to that team. I've seen a lot of people comment on not wanting to give it to him because he's not the flashy scorer that most 6 Men of the Year is. And I just think that to me, that's a stupid argument because that's not what the award is. The award is who is the best player coming off the bench that can help their team. Emmanuel Quigley, he's been great. But most of the games that he's been great in have been starting. When Jalen Brunson went out, it was him starting. And so it's hard for me to give it to him when he's so much better as a starter than he is as coming off the bench. He's been incredible this season. He's been great defensively. I never thought he was going to be a good defender. He's been great defensively. He's obviously been scoring really, really well. And he was able to take over for Jalen Brunson. But I think most of the work that he's done is as a starter. So it's very hard for me to give him this award.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say about this because those are teams that I don't watch too much. But I do agree with Ale. He was saying about Brogdon. Brogdon has been consistent the whole year. And the other 2, Bobby Portis, I feel like he had him more in this first half of the year. Yeah. And Quigley, like, he started popping up recently. And, people got the reasons why they're trying to give it to him right away.
Yeah.
I saw a little on Twitter, give it to him, which, there's nothing wrong with that. Because he's definitely in contention.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at people for saying that.
I think he's going to win.
You think he's gonna
win? I think most of these, like, I think I'm secure about most of these. I'm gonna give it to Brogdon. To me, it's between Brogdon and Emmanuel Quigley, but I'm actually gonna give it to. I think not like me giving it to, but I think Emmanuel Quigley is gonna
because
win.
Quigley's like the person that you think of when you think of 6
Exactly. He's literally exactly.
He's like he shoots a lot. Yeah. He's a high volume scorer. But whatever, and I'm not too mad about it. So let's just move on. We got Clutch Player of the Year. This is actually a new award that they're putting in, and our top 3 players we got De'Aaron Fox 1, Kyrie 2, and Butler 3. I think De'Aaron Fox is winning that like
easily,
100%. We just have to put in 2 other people, so we decided to put Kyrie and Butler, 2 players that are known for their clutch play, and they have been very close this year.
Yeah, Kyrie's been incredible in the fourth quarter. I think he might lead the NBA in fourth quarter.
And Butler, especially in the second half of the year, was just knocking it down in the clutch like he always does.
But we don't really have to talk too much about this. This was the obvious pick. This is probably the easiest pick. De'Aaron Fox, Clutch Player of the Year. Shout out to Sacramento.
And then Coach of the Year. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, to me, this one, another one that was super easy when Mike Brown's been able to do this team. And it's funny because it's not even a Mike Brown team because they're great offensively. They're not great defensively. He's usually been known for being a great defensive coach. So I'm going to give it to Mike Brown. Sorry, I didn't really mention the contenders. We have Mike Brown, the OKC Thunder coach. Yeah. I don't know how to say his last name. And then Joe Mazzulla. I actually have Will Hardy here for what he was able to do for the Jazz for the majority of the season. But obviously, I got to put Joe Mazzulla. They are the number 2 offensive team and number 2 defensive team. That's super impressive. Like, I gotta shout them out for that.
He came in for Emil Doug after the whole situation,
Yeah.
and he was able to, still lead the Celtics to a great season. So shout out to him for that, bro.
But it's definitely gonna have to be Mike Brown, number 1 offense in the NBA. They've looked incredible.
And this is unexpected, man.
Nobody
Nobody
expected
expected
this.
Kings to be as good.
Number 3rd seed. Definitely gonna have to give it to Mike Brown. So thank you guys so much for watching. In the next video, we're gonna break down the NBA teams, I guess, the all defensive teams.
And there's a lot to say about that, especially
Yeah.
on NBA team.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.
Peace out.